Come on. Okay, there we go. In 3 seconds. All right. Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry for the late OP, but listen, we've been watching the show long enough to know that we don't start on time. But welcome to the 4 and Venki OP. Yes. Yes, we are very very excited to have after very long a new guest on the channel. After last month, we had Fabrizio Romano on here, and oh, what do you mean there's no? Oh God, why do I embarrass myself like this? Oh my God, dude, what a retard I am.
You know what would be
There,
funny
yeah, there we
if
go. Okay, we got
if
the
you come
audio.
up with a better show without our audio. You just imagine what we're talking about.
Okay. Yes, off to a great start. But we have audio and we have everyone on the show, and we also have our guest for today. So without wasting any time, can we have on our screens? Make some noise with many OPs. It is Mark Goldbridge.
Yay!
Hello, everybody. How are we all doing?
Great.
Hello.
All
Thank
right,
you so
we
much for
are.
doing this,
Good to
Mark.
be here.
Yeah,
Very
it's
excited.
lovely to have you here. Been very excited to been chatting with you for a while to make this happen, but yeah, finally happening. And yeah, Goldberg Kopi in the chat. Very very excited to be doing this. How's it going, Mark? I just wanted to ask you in general, how do you survive this life of streaming like 5 times a day? How do you do it?
I don't actually know. I'm starting to. Then batteries are starting to run down the older I get, really. Like, I keep trying to get people on the United stand, and then every presenter I get, they go, "I'm not doing that again," because all the chat says, "Where's Mark? Where's Mark? Where's Mark?" And it's like, Mark can't have a bloody day off. Give him a day off.
Right, brilliant. So, of course, for the two people in the chat who don't know who Mark is, obviously part of the United Stand and has his own channel, which is Mark Goldbridge. That's football. And of course, we're going to be talking a lot about United and, of course, a lot about other things as well. So, of course, being a United fan, want to start with the obvious Manchester United questions. I think you did a watch along of the game last night against Brentford. And what have you made of Manchester United? I mean, obviously you can't read a lot into preseason right now, considering there's like 2 first-team players in there. But what are your thoughts? Like, what are you feeling like going into the season? Because I don't know, like we've made the signings, but somehow there's just like this feeling of like the personnel may have got better, but are the tactics on the field going to improve? Like, is the management going to improve? So, what are your views on that?
Is Ole good enough?
Yeah.
Is the-
I mean, it's very difficult. If you'd asked me that at the end of the season, I probably would give a different answer. But I think preseason games are very much like having a Ferrari on your drive, and then you haven't got the keys. You just sat in the driveway, messing around with the steering wheel. We don't. I don't like preseason. We have to cover it and we have to pretend we like it, but it's not. We haven't even got any of our first team players really. We're watching players that we want to sell, pretending that we care about what they're doing. I mean, it's. I wouldn't not watch it because I'm a very very passionate United fan, but I've got to say the preseason is a little bit dry so far.
yeah.
But I'm very excited about some of the players we bought. I do like Sancho. I think Varane's a fantastic player. I think that's the most impressive deal we've done in a few years, actually. And I still want a midfielder, so we'll see what happens over the next few weeks.
Did you think the Varane deal happened way too fast? Like
Yeah,
considering
for United,
the way that
About 2 years too fast,
does?
yeah.
It does. It is right. It's so surprising that it actually happened. Very very surprising.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think fair. I don't normally applaud United, but I have to say that's the sort of deal we should be doing, and it felt like that's the sort of thing that Real Madrid normally do to us. We don't normally take one of their good players, and Real Madrid just sort of have to go, yeah, you can have him for 35 million as well. It was just a sign of the times. I think La Liga's in trouble, and Real Madrid and Barcelona need to rebuild, and the Premier League is very strong financially, so we took advantage definitely.
For a little while, I thought that Varane was doing exactly what Ramos had done earlier. Where you're negotiating your contract basis United's interest, and it didn't happen.
It's like applying for a job
It's
in
not-
another company only to get a raise at yours.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way, did it?
Yeah, it did not.
No, but are you happy? Like, obviously, you're happy with the Varane signing, but do you think you've solved all your problems within the within the
With
11
midfield,
and
I
the
think
defense.
is a big one that like a huge
And-
part of the puzzle. We've been talking about like Kamavinga or Saul Niguez, guys like there's still talk about Goretzka, although it seems very unlikely to me. Ruben Neves has been another one in there. So obviously we do need that signing, but which one would you pick, and which one do you think is realistic for United?
It's funny because I did a video this morning saying that Camavinga is probably the most likely, and then Romano said tonight that he's not coming. He's going to stay there for a year. So move. You know, when Romano said last night there's going to be an update with Camavinga in the next few days, you think, yeah, there you go, and it's not. It doesn't look like it is. So I just, as long as we buy somebody, and when I say somebody, not anybody, but like the players you said, Saul Niguez, Ruben Neves, somebody like that is better than Fred or McTominay there. And I think that if we don't do that, then it doesn't matter how good Varane and Sancho are. I believe that the midfield is where games are won and lost, and our midfield's not good enough. So especially if Pogba was to go and we don't replace him as well. So.
Do you still think, Azeem, you need to switch Kautuk and I in the box, but
okay,
do you still think that? Do you still think that the midfield is is still a weak link as opposed to say your right back or any of
Right
the
back's
other
been a position that I've been like. I mean, I know Wan-Bissaka is getting better. Like, sort of, he has got better over the course of the season, but I think the way that Luke Shaw improved the moment Alex Telles came in, because he was like, okay, my place in the team isn't just guaranteed now. I do think we need that competition at right back. Do you think I watched you talking about Dalot, and you said you thought he had a good game, and generally I have been a fan of Dalot. So what do you think about the right back situation?
So right back and midfield, where do you think the gap is?
I mean, the great thing I love about football is that everyone has a different opinion, and then people get very passionate and sometimes aggressive if you have a different opinion. That's the great thing about football. I put Wan-Bissaka in the category of Luke Shaw. I think he's 2 or 3 years younger, and I think 2 or 3 years ago I was constantly being told Luke Shaw's just fat and rubbish, and I was like, no, he's not. I think he's a good player, and he's become that, and I think Wan-Bissaka will as well. My fear is if you bring Trippier in, is that will we get lucky again where Trippier comes in and Wan-Bissaka becomes world class because he's 3 years younger. I think Luke Shaw had competition at the right time in his mid-20s. I think Trippier might come in and actually push Wan-Bissaka out of the team, which will do him more harm. So that's what worries me there. Midfield, we need a midfielder. I mean, I don't rate McTominay and Fred. I think Matic is past it. I used to like Matic, but he's past it. And all the other lads, Pogba and Van der Beek, they're not holding midfielders. So we need one. Varane's going to improve us, Sancho will improve us, but I still don't think it will be enough in the midfield. When you look at like Neville's team, Chelsea, they've got Kovacic, Kante, and Jorginho. They've got options, and they're looking at Tchouaméni or Rice. United have still got McTominay and Fred. You know.
Yeah.
But who would you want then
you were
in the holding
you
zone?
were still looking at. Sorry, you were still saying someone like Kamavinga but Kamavinga is not really holding, midfielder. So would you drop Pogba back then? Because he's not going to run back.
No, don't.
Yeah, he's not going to run back. Yeah.
By the sounds of it, Pogba won't even be. I think that unless we get Declan Rice, which I think he will go to Chelsea if they want him because he's a Chelsea boy. I think if you get Saul Niguez, Goretzka, Ruben Neves, Camavinga, none of them are really holding midfielders, but I think they've all got the attributes to be a holding midfielder. So you'd have, or Basuma I like Basuma from Brighton as well. So I think that if we buy any of those players, we're going to have to mold them into that role. But I think they've all got the attributes to do it. I think Ruben Neves can do it. I think Basuma can do it. I think I actually think Camavinga could do it as well. But yeah, they're not specialist holding midfielders. I think the only one is Declan Rice.
Right. Okay. Now the most contentious point. So I am very vocally, and I think that's putting it mildly. Pogba out. Hashtag Pogba out. That's me. And I have been for like a couple of seasons. Not because. So this is my thing about Pogba. I mean, we've reached that point where there's constantly the defense of him, where people are like, no, he can be a better player. Like he needs the infrastructure around him. He will be a better player. But I'm like, he's 28. I mean, this is pretty much, this is the player he is. Like he's close to his peak or at his peak, or supposedly age wise. And like objectively, without saying that he's a good player or not or whatever, just do you think Pogba is worth having around in terms of the amount of wages that we would potentially pay for a transfer, or do you think we should get him out? Because I'm very firmly of the opinion that, listen, let's cash in on him and let's get someone who doesn't end every season by saying, I want a new challenge, I'm not happy, just crying about shit all the time. So what do you think?
I was going to say, it doesn't sound like my wife, but it sounds like somebody I know's wife. I'd be interested to know what Kartik and Neville think, because he could end up at Chelsea or Real Madrid, and I presume you guys would welcome Paul Pogba. Just before I answer, I presume you would want him.
I don't think I want another ego in midfield at Chelsea, especially considering what we have. I think a young midfielder, like I think with Kante, with Kovacic, I was not a big Jorginho fan, simply because I think there's a lot of defensive drops that sort of tend to happen with Jorginho, and that might actually be because the defense hasn't played enough with that with that double pivot ever since Tuchel's just come, right? So I think having one more Pogba-like figure within a world of Jorginho. Kante doesn't have much of an ego, but he's like unreal. With like a Jorginho, a Ziyech, Werner, and look at the people that you're also talking about. 137 million rumor for Haaland. I mean, how many egos are you going to manage, right? Like I don't know. I really don't. I don't know if Pogba would do, and I don't think Pogba would do well in a system like Chelsea as well.
Like I think at Madrid we definitely need a refresh on that midfield. Great midfield, but slightly aging midfield. Like you have 35-year-old Luka Modric, you have a 33 or Toni Kroos. You need to refresh that thing. I wouldn't mind Pogba because he at least has Casemiro there to kind of do all the stuff that Azeem's been complaining about, right? Like at least do some running back.
It's the Kante in France role.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have his good cop, bad cop in in the midfield there. So wouldn't be a bad idea. But I mean, I've been a big fan of Camavinga, and I wanted him for the longest time at Madrid. So I'm hoping that happens rather than Pogba. Like again, and I think when you think of Pogba, the same thing happens where you start thinking of the stuff he does outside the field as well.
Yeah,
which is a huge factor to the player you're getting, and not just the amazing game-changing player, right? So it's also that, which is a big problem with Pogba.
It's interesting because I was just thinking there, if Manchester United end up keeping Pogba, it's basically a hyped up version of what happened with Fellaini when his contract was running out, and he was saying, I've been treated really badly, and then he signed the contract because no one else wanted him, and it's like that might happen with Pogba. He's been, Riola's like, he will never sign a contract at Manchester United. He's not been treated well, and you can almost imagine here's the contract because maybe no other club will take him because of the baggage. And I don't know whether it comes directly from Pogba. I mean, look, your agent talks; they're surely talking for you. But maybe not. But I think the Pogba situation is really difficult because I'd like to see him start the season with the team that we've got because I don't like McTominay and Fred, but I definitely wouldn't be giving him 400 grand a week. And then if you let him start the season, he's going to go for nothing. And it's a difficult one. I suppose the most logical answer is to sell him to PSG and get some money. But would we replace Pogba? We're not great at replacing players that are important to the team.
Yeah, no, that does make sense. Also, there's been a lot of talk about whether United would switch to like playing a 3 in the midfield as opposed to like the double pivot and the 10. But do you think that would work? Because I would think that'll sort of make Bruno Fernandes a bit less effective. So unless we get like a really like a specialist, almost like an NDD kind of player holding in the middle over there, I don't see that happening. What do you think?
Yeah, we haven't got that player to do it, like you say. We were just talking about that with regards to buying players in. You do. You need an NDD. You need Declan Rice can do it. You need a specialist if you're going to play one holding midfielder and let your other two attack. So. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me going into the summer, it was the most important position. I'm very happy with Varane and Sancho, but the most important position was that one, and it would be quite annoying if after buying two really good players, we don't I always say it's a bit like a
Yeah.
boat. It's like a boat with 3 leaks. You've got 2 little leaks and a big leak, and you spend all your money on the 2 little leaks, but we're still sinking. There's still a problem in the middle of the pitch.
Right. Okay. And the last United question before we move on to other things. Why doesn't Ole make substitutions? I have been like breaking my head over this for 2 years now. And why doesn't he make substitutions when he has people sitting on the bench? I just don't
Also,
understand.
considering that his career was made on substitutions, like,
Yeah.
how do you not see that?
It's so hypocritical, because if he played under himself,
Yeah.
he never would have had a career. That great moment never would have happened, because it'd have kept York and Cole on, and we wouldn't have won. It's the irony is not lost on United fans. But I spoke to Teddy Sheringham a few weeks ago on the United stand, and he said he's such a nice guy, he's such a nice family guy, and I never would have thought he'd be a manager, but he's done a really good job. And he wasn't saying he's a bad manager, he's saying he's done really well. But I just wonder if he is a little bit too nice, if he just wants to be everybody's friend, because that, as we all know in life, if you're a manager of anywhere, if you're nice to everybody, there are going to be little areas where you're not ruthless. And I think with his substitutions, he is just a little bit like, oh, I'll keep them on just in case they do something. And sometimes they have. I mean, I remember Wolves last year, Rashford was kept on to the last minute. He hit a shot, it deflected in, and we won 3 points. But I think, Klopp and Pep, they make substitutions. They will bring Origi on with 20 minutes to go if they need to. And Ollie needs to do that more. We've got a good squad as well.
But if you actually see his season, it didn't turn out all that bad, right? Like you certainly wouldn't have expected a second place.
Oh, yeah, for
So do you think that it was just a result of people coming into their own in their own little roles, or was it a little bit of luck, or was it like intentional? Because I'm just curious in that sense, because you ended up second, which is at some point.
It's good. It's really good. And I think that, because United's fan base, I wouldn't say it's split, but there are people that don't rate Ollie. And I think they try and turn this. I think the easy argument is Mourinho finished second and no one gave him any credit for it. And then he got the sack a few months later. So you can finish second and it be bad. But I think what happened with Ollie is we were looking to get Pochettino in last October. And then he was basically going to lose his job. And then he just went very defensive and grinded results out for a long time. And he did do very well, but I actually want Ollie to do well, and I'm hoping that he's going to change things this year. But the football wasn't good a lot of last season, but he organised us very well with the back six. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to move on from United. We're going to talk a little bit about... wanted to talk about City, and we have a super chat from Kushal, which leads us nicely into that. So what thoughts do you have on the Grealish news? Do you think Grealish to City is happening?
Yeah, I did a video on my That's Football channel just at the end of the Euros saying it was basically going to be a done deal, because somebody mentioned it to me who I had no reason to disbelieve. And then I've had Man City fans messaging me saying, oh, you're full of what? And I was like, well, I don't want it to happen. I've got nothing to gain by saying he's going to City. But they, I don't blame Grealish. I mean, if Pep Guardiola, whatever anyone thinks about him, he's one of the best managers in the world. And if he wants to take an English Aston Villa player, that's going to make you feel very good if you're Jack Grealish, especially when the Pratt who manages the national team won't pick you. So, I think it's an exciting deal. I like Grealish. I mean, I'm going to like him a little bit less now he's at Man City, but it's an exciting deal for him and an exciting deal for English football in many ways. Yeah.
Okay. It's an either or between Grealish and Kane, right? Like they can't go for both those targets, Man City.
Apparently,
not with the financial fair play thing that's happening right
I mean,
now.
you can just call the state up and send some more money. Why can't
yeah. They don't recognise the financial fair play rules at Man City anymore, do they? They just don't.
But do you think they're going to see any action? I mean, there's a lot of stuff about emails resurfacing and all of that. But do you realistically see like UEFA giving them any kind of sanctions or them being banned from the Champions League? No.
I think money talks, doesn't it? And if you've got enough money, it can tell problems to go away. I mean, I don't really. I suppose. Look, the honest answer is maybe they haven't done anything wrong. Maybe they have. I haven't read into it enough, and mainly. haven't read into it enough because I have no faith if they have done anything wrong that anything will get done anyway. So I'm just sort of like, yeah, whatever. You know, whether they've done it or not, they're not going to get any punishment.
Yeah, they're not going to get a fine.
Which sucks, but hey.
Hey,
that's
also,
what
what happens? What happens to Donny van de Beek? Like, what is the situation with that player? Like, came in with so much promise, and then he's warmed the bench throughout the season. Like, and then now I think they've made him captain for like 15 minutes in a friendly.
Yeah.
So like, what happens? What is up with that?
I mean, look, I've seen somebody saying that he's sponsoring the shirt now because it's TeamViewer.
TeamViewer, yeah.
So, fair play whoever came up with that. I like him. Ollie, I think, doesn't know how to use him. I think that's the bottom line because this is a lad that's come through the Ajax system, very, very good player. And I just don't think, you know, going back to what Neville was saying about us finishing second place, I don't think we played particularly good football. And I think to play good football, you need to utilise a player like Donny van de Beek over a Scott McTominay or a Fred, and he doesn't know what he's doing with it. So
yeah. So I mean, just to add to that, so I mean, this is something that we say a lot about Ollie, that he doesn't know how to use this player, or he doesn't know how to do this, but that's not something that you would say about Klopp or Guardiola and be like, okay, you know what, Guardiola doesn't know how to use Foden. So does that speak volumes about like the caliber of manager that Ole is, or do you think he'll ever get to that level of caliber?
I think the hope is with Ollie that he will. I mean, look, the first 3 months he was here was very good. They had no pressure. I think when Bruno and Pogba and Matic played together at the end of last season, not the season just gone, the season before, we clicked quite well. I think we did play well against PSG away. We played well against Leipzig at home. We played well against Everton in the Cup, in the Carabao Cup. But I think that I think he does need to I think he's been trying to save his job for so long that it's made him think about being defensive and trying to nick games. I think he needs to be more expansive because he's got a lot of loyalty at United. There's a lot of fans who love him, but ultimately, Man United fans want to see Manchester United playing good football. And if he doesn't play good football, then he's going to ultimately have a few problems.
Okay. So we have another question from Ninad who's saying, Mark, who are your three realistic CDM targets? Who do you think realistically we end up with?
It depends what the budget is. I mean, I don't think Declan Rice is realistic because of the price. Camavinga's looking difficult now from what Romano said. So, I mean, realistically, I think Bissouma's realistic. I just don't think we're looking at him. I think that if Chelsea are going for Declan Rice, Tchouaméni from Monaco's realistic as well. And I would say Ruben Neves is realistic. I don't know whether we'll get any of those players, but they're all realistic because they're all around 30 to 40 million quid and they can all do a job, I think, that's better than what we've got. So it's hard at the moment because we just don't know who we're looking at, but we know we're looking for one.
Right. Do you think Ndidi is a choice or something that you can even try and go after?
Yeah, I mean, people talk about Ndidi, but Leicester aren't stupid. They got 50 million for Chilwell, they got 80 million for Maguire, and Ndidi's probably their best player. So they probably put a price tag of 100 million on him. I do like him, but I just don't think we can do it. No.
Okay. We have a question from Nehal who's asking about some of the academy prospects. We had Ghana, Ilanga, Ahmad, Shoratire. Do you think these guys will be able to make the step up?
I like Ghana. I think some of our fans get quite excited that he can be he can solve the problem now. I mean, he's clearly not going to solve the problem in Ollie's mind because he's picking Pereira ahead of him, isn't he? So, but he's bulked up, which is what you expect of younger players. And I hope he can get a loan deal this year. I don't mind if it's the Championship, but if he can get a loan, he's got to play regularly. So probably the Championship, and then let's have a look at where he is next year. He might be 1 or 2 years away, really.
Okay, so Shravan says Pereira sold himself with that goal last night. Do you think that's put him in the shop window?
I hope so. Some people think it might have put him in Ollie's plans. I mean, God, that would be very, very worrying. I mean, he was a fan, I think this is the great thing about football. We can all have our opinions on a player, but that I have to say the technique on that last night was absolutely superb. It was a fantastic goal, perfectly in the top corner as well. But he's a young player. 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, we don't need this player. We've got Pereira. He's going to be brilliant. And then you get people showing those tweets like from 2017, and you're like, yeah, you can get it wrong. You can see something in a player and then 4 years later it doesn't happen. I mean, it's like, you know.
Oh, dude, for me on Twitter, it's 4 minutes later. So it's just that's become my thing on Twitter. It's just a tweet like Wan Bissaka is shit, and then he just assists within 3 minutes. And I'm like,
yeah, you got to be careful in game, haven't you? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had a season where Neville went from I hate Kurt Zuma to oh my god, why isn't Zuma playing? Like it had happened in one.
Now sad to oh my god, Zuma is leaving. Right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
a good player he is.
Koundé to Chelsea, that looks like happening. What do you think about him? Like, he's pretty young. Do you think he's gonna add? Like, do you think he's gonna be a starter for Chelsea?
I don't know whether they'll start him at Chelsea.
Rudiger, yeah, exactly. With the Rudiger situation, because I think Silva is definitely starting, and then you have Rudiger beside him. So where do you think he fits? Is he playing the smaller games? Is he?
I think with Chelsea that look, first of all, I think he's a good signing. I know it's difficult when it's a rival club, but I didn't think we'd get Varane, and if we didn't get Varane, I probably would have liked Koundé. There was a lot of United fans saying he's too small, and I was like, yeah, Cannavaro was small, Puyol was small. It doesn't really matter. So first of all, I think it's a good signing. Secondly, was it City in the Champions League final? You played with 3 centre backs, but you used Reece James as the right-sided centre back. So maybe that's the plan for Koundé in a back 3 as the right-sided player, because then his height isn't that important anyway, because Rudiger and Silva are very good in the air. So maybe that's the plan with Tuchel. But I'm surprised. I thought Zuma was a good centre-back, but I think Koundé is a good signing,
Okay. So NK in the chat's asking the right questions. He says, Mark, all 3 of them hate Barca. What about you?
Well, you know, I'm not that popular with the old La Liga fans anyway, because I said it with Chelsea last year. I said Atletico Madrid were top and Chelsea were about 5th at the time, and I said Chelsea will beat them because La Liga's shit, and they did beat them. I think La Liga's well, you know. There's a lot of people in England, like Daryl from Norwich, who wear a Barcelona kit because they don't know anything about football and they think I'll just support a team that's got the best player in the world in it.
Yeah.
And I think some people used to do that with Real Madrid as well and Ronaldo. Well, now you're going to have to really give these teams some support, because I think that the league is in trouble and Real Madrid and Barcelona will bounce back. But it's like United of the last 8 years. This is what support's all about. Can you support them through the difficult times? Because I think La Liga and Barcelona and Real Madrid are going to go through times where they're not Champions League contenders. Obviously, they'll be La Liga contenders, but I think they're going to be a long way off the Champions League for maybe 2-3 years. Maybe longer.
And despite your opinions on Arsenal, it's also like Arsenal fans, right, who try to get them through it, but I think their interest is dwindling. At best, with the number of seasons they've gone.
Yeah, we've had an Arsenal fan on this channel come up and say that Arsenal beat Chelsea, so technically they've won the Champions League this season. So that's the kind of optimism that's flowing in Arsenal circles right now.
Yeah. I was speaking to a Southampton fan the other week. I was at this football charity thing, and it was a Southampton fan, and they were like, do you think everyone will watch AFTV next year? And I was like, well, yeah, they always watch it because they're always losing. And they're like, yeah, but they're a mid-table team like us. Why hasn't Southampton got a fan channel that gets loads of views when people lose? Because Arsenal are just shit now. It's not a shock when they lose, is it? He was going really mad. He was going mad. He was like, why do Arsenal fans get really mad when they get beat by Man City at the Etihad? You're shit. You're going to lose there. I get it if you lose to bloody Brentford, but, you know, you shouldn't be surprised when a team in the top half of the table beat you. You're a mid-table team. I was like, all right, mate, all right. You start your channel up and see how many watch you, Southampton FC or whatever.
Oh, man. And yeah, speaking about, I think, AFTV, Pritham De Silva is asking, which felt better, winning against AFTV or kicking DT in the bollocks and receiving a yellow card?
To be honest, it felt better to win the game. It's always about winning, isn't it? And the fact that they had a load of ringers on their pitch, and we actually had 4 people who were on the channel, you know, including myself, who hadn't played for a while. It was, it was very encouraging to win that game because they'd been so mouthy before about what they were going to do, and they would just ultimately embarrass themselves massively. So yeah, that was quite satisfying.
Oh, Arsenal.
Okay. Sid says, please tell Mark to give the dessert explanation of United's transfer window.
The dessert explanation.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means. I thought this is an inside United stand joke that I'm missing.
No.
Okay.
I suppose he wants me to describe how I describe the transfer window as a dessert, but then I've got to tell you rank my dessert. So this is going to take too long. So move on.
Wait. What is the future prospect of Messi Lingard? What happens with him?
Sell him, hopefully. I don't. I do like Jesse Lingard, but he's played pre-season, and he should be like man of the match, scoring a couple of goals in pre-season. He's been very average, so I just don't think he's good enough for United, and I think he's a bench player, but I think he's good enough to be a first teamer for West Ham. So go and play some football. You're 28. Go and play some football. You nearly got in the England squad as well. You're never going to do that from the bench at United. So time to go, I think.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. I think there's a lot of players that we need to cash in on. This is a question. Are we ever going to get rid of Phil Jones?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mata. I really thought you were going to say
No,
Mata.
we need Mata. He's the first team blogger. He has to be in the team. So
yeah, I was disappointed that Mata stayed. I like Mata, but I mean, he's been finished for about 3 years and he still gets new contracts. Phil Jones, I mean, look, you need somebody to pay money for him. Like, that's the problem. I think somebody was saying to me the other day, we'd have to pay him £10 million to pay his contract up. He's still got 3 years on it. So I just don't. Why would you? I mean, he's been injured as long as he's had a contract. He's, he's still not fit, and he got injured before COVID, the first one. So he's been injured for like 15 months. Nobody really knows what's wrong with him either. So I don't know. I've got no answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've reached the point where he's eligible for a testimonial match, and he himself said that people probably won't show up.
Well, the problem is he won't turn up, will he? Because he's injured anyway.
Brilliant. Okay, so just quickly
The
before
Marco
we let you
Van
go.
Hinkel of United.
Hey, but Marco Van Hinkel's finally moved on. So I wanted to talk about Derby County and Wayne Rooney and what's happening there. First of all, Wayne Rooney, in the most Wayne Rooney fashion, went and injured his own player. In training. And in fairness, it was a slip and he didn't actually tackle him. But with Waza, you never know.
That's his version.
Yeah. And what's the situation with the last I read, they had 9 first team players available to register at Derby County. So just like, I mean, for us, we're not very familiar being not in the UK with, the ins and outs of that. So can you shed some light on that for us?
It's really weird with Rooney because when he got the Derby job, obviously because he's an ex-United great, you'd be doing the United stand and you'd see people going, he's doing a great job at Derby. But I didn't watch the Championship last year and I didn't watch La Liga because the Premier League seemed to be on every night, twice a night. So I just had no time to watch anything else. And then the last game of the season, Derby are in a game where if they lose, they get relegated. And I'm like, how's he doing a great job? Because when he took over, they weren't, I don't know. I don't get the job that Rooney's doing that's really good at Derby, but apparently he is doing a good job. But then he's got no players as well. He's been in trouble this week because of pictures that he's had to apologise for because I think he's been out having a good time with people that aren't his wife. So it's I don't know, Rooney. I don't get the feeling Rooney's going to be the next. But then again, which United ex-player has gone on and had a good career anyway as a manager? But I think Derby is a bit of a mess, to be honest. And I don't know what the odds are on them doing well this season, but I think they'll be battling against relegation by the looks of it. So Rooney's future at Derby may not be as prolonged as he would, as many people thought, really.
Yeah, but I mean, what is the reason why they have such few players? Like, I mean, I understand there was a takeover and there's a transfer embargo and all of that, but 9 first team players available, that's absurd. That's unheard of.
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure, but knowing what problems teams have in the Championship, it may well be that they've overspent or something like that, and then you can't spend money on players as much for a couple of years. So maybe they're having problems, balancing the books. Otherwise, I don't
But
see.
they have been given like an exemption,
right,
under serious what extraneous circumstances.
Right. You see, the problem here is you three probably know more about the Championship than me, even though I live in that country. Because, to be honest, I couldn't give a shit. I've just lost interest in it. Really, I'll pay attention to any lads. Birmingham this year because Tahith Chong's gone on loan, and if Garner goes on loan, I'll keep an eye on those. Like when Garner was at Forest the last few months, because I was originally born in Nottingham. I know a few fans there, and they were constantly messaging me saying he's doing a good job, but I didn't even know the 3 teams that got promoted. I knew it was Brentford because we played them last night, and then I thought it was Bournemouth because I was laughing at Arsenal saying you're not even top of the league at the start of the league season because it's AFC Bournemouth, and then people are like, why are you talking about Bournemouth? I'm like, because AFC Bournemouth, they're not been promoted. It's Norwich and Brentford and who's the other one? Norwich, Brentford,
Watford.
and Watford. Yeah. See,
Watford.
you know, I just don't pay any attention to it anymore. It's bad, really.
Okay, so before we let you go, I think we have a lot of requests in the chat since the beginning to get an Ollie impression out of you. So maybe let's give you a scene, right? Okay, so you're Ollie and you're telling Phil Jones that his testimonial match is coming up.
I hate doing things on demand. Okay, I'll grab my phone. Jonesy, me and Karaki, we got a testimonially for you, but you got to get fit. Get yourself down the gym, Jonesy, and don't forget your pink boots. You just got to get E. You just got to talk a bit out your nose and get E on the end. E, Karaki, you know. I don't even think it sounds anything like Ollie myself, but you know.
Testimonially is hilarious. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's a very good impression of the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and definite competition to my Jose impression. Thank you.
See, that's a proper impression. There you go.
All right,
My impressions aren't impressions; they're just my interpretation of it. You know, they sound nothing like the person, really.
Oh, this is like me.
You know what would be hilarious?
If
Ole was even nicer than whatever you've done. Like if he's even nicer than that. If he's like, it's a testimonial, but you know, we'll get a person who will stand in for you. Don't worry. Relax. It's fine. No substitutions.
That's the thing.
Will
You've
be
got to
made.
get him fit for his testimonial. Maybe we can wheel him out at half time on a chair and he can just wave at the crowd.
Yeah.
Because he's not fit. Poor lad. 80 grand a week. Unlucky.
Yeah, it's a shame. Listen, Mark, it's been a lot of fun having you here. Thanks so much for making out the time to join us. And we're going to let you go. Thank you so much. I spent an embarrassing amount of time watching the United stand all day. So I'm going to continue doing that. And yes, let's have a Scooby-Doo in the chat as Mark Goldbridge heads out. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me, lads. And I'll speak to you soon. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
See you. All right, that was Scooby-Doo. It was Mark Goldbridge. That was quite fun. I mean, I know we were supposed to cover a lot of other topics, but just when you have him, you have to talk about United, man. It's just
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Azzy.
Okay, अभी now that Mark has left, अपन सब लोग अपना बेशरम वाला काम कर सकते हैं. Guys, please smash that like button. And generally smash that like button. I'm sorry if we had a few super chats that we couldn't take from you all, but I will try to answer them as Mark myself, which is a very bad idea. Couple of announcements. Number one, we have a new 442 channel which we're going to be shifting all the streams to come the start of the season. The link is pinned to the chat, so please go there and subscribe to that channel. I enjoyed the Arsenal banter. I think that was the highlight. Just seeing Ayush Vedkar in the chat going wow after the Arsenal banter was
Not enough anti-Barca stuff.
So. He has to make up his mind. Last year, mid-season, he said, I'm no longer an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. He has PTSD, na? It's the
It's
different phases of
He did
grieving.
message me to tell you. He did message me to tell you to change the hashtags in the middle, which I couldn't.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we do have to change the channel because it's just a complete nightmare in the back end to handle my stand-up and gaming and 442 and all of that. So all sports-related content gonna go there. It's youtube.com/442. 4 and TWO. Easy to remember. Let us quickly run through the rest of the episode. We have a few things to talk about, actually quite a few things. I'm very happy. Why am I not wearing my Netherlands jersey? Guys, Louis van Gaal is back to Netherlands.
Oh no.
What a random piece of news, dude.
Oh god. What? There is a Van Gaal army now?
No, that's what, don't you remember him at United when people are asking about his job being secure and all, and he's like, can you not see outside the men shouting, Louis van Gaal army? And he just repeatedly referred to Chris Smalling as Mike Smalling. It was a lot of fun.
That's a power move. That's a power move.
What are you saying? 404 not found. ऐसा कैसा बोल सकते हैं तुम लोग? चालू तो है. Okay, maybe you have to put a C, youtube.com/C. But हाँ हो तो गया, इतना सारा लोग आ गया ना. We have 1.36 already on it. Louis Van Gaal Army, but he's back. I'm very excited about this. Finally, अभी तुम लोग देखो World Cup 2022. 22 is coming. You heard it here first.
Shit.
Netherlands.
Oh,
Donny
God.
van
Where
de
is
Beek.
where is
Ballon
Dumfries
d'Or.
going? Is Dumfries moving anywhere? He should, no? After
He's
that.
moving up and down the
amazing
right
goals.
wing, but apart from that, I don't know.
Going to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It's coming, damn.
It's coming, damn. Yes. And okay, so let us quickly do La Liga Roundup. Kautuk, what are your views on this? Eden Hazard wants to stay at Real Madrid because he feels he owes the club something. He wants to show that he can play for Real Madrid. What do you think about this? And apparently he has returned to preseason in much better shape as compared to previous seasons.
Kautuk, that's what I told you. You said
No, but-
mota ban ke hi aaya hai.
Haan, like
He's
there
not.
were some reports where he's come back again the same way. Like that he's come back in every other season. Plus, I've heard this for 2 seasons straight that I want to prove myself. This is my dream. This will happen. Don't worry, I will. I have no faith. I have no faith.
Which is probably why he will prove you wrong this year. Single-handedly winning you the Champions
Bro,
League.
वो अगर 5 गोल भी मारा ना, it will be an improvement. मार दे, चल, खत्म कर.
Okay. Yes, also very important announcement about membership. So obviously, don't worry, whatever member exclusive content is there, we will give you here. But do not renew your membership here. We will start new membership on that channel. तो यहाँ पे renew मत करना. All the videos that were available here will be made available there. So all the privileges, everything will carry over there. So don't renew your membership unless it's the special wala membership you want to renew because that one will remain. Okay, continue.
Here's my Eden Hazard impersonation.
Yes. Oh, great stuff. Fantastic.
Really,
Fantastic.
you've ordered McDonald's for dinner.
Kafsi.
Kafsi. Look at this besharmi that we have. The moment our guest is left, just straight up KFC खा रहे हम लोग. This is what we're doing.
मेरे को भी खाना खाने का है, but
Kentucky Football Club. Let's go.
bro आज काम पे इतना गांड लग गया ना मेरा, तो मैं ऐसा कॉल पे आया, मैं बोला शिट कैसा करेगा कॉल, बट कर लिया.
Okay. More Real Madrid news. Jonathan Barnett, which is Gareth Bale's agent, has confirmed that Gareth Bale, not leaving on loan, will stay. Will stay. Not accepting transfer, not accepting loan. It's like, तू गार्ड भरा है, मैं इधर बैठेगा बेंच पे, तू देख मेरे को. I love it.
Bro, to be honest, the golf is much better in Spain. Much
Yes,
better. Like,
can I tell
would
you
he
why?
leave?
Because it doesn't rain as fucking
Yeah,
often
sunny
as it
weather.
does in
Oh, it's
fucking
beautiful.
London, dude.
Why will he leave? He's never going to go. Like after the thing also, he'll just show up at the training ground. Like after his deal is over, he'll just be like, दोस्तों, वैसे भी stands में कोई है नहीं, मैं बैठ जाऊँ.
Anyone for golf? Anyone? मैं निकल रहा था, मेरा गाड़ी में जगह है, तुम लोग आओ. And yes, for people who are asking about FPL, this thing, कैसा क्यों नहीं चल रहा है new channel link? YouTube मैं टाइप करता हूँ, youtube.com/c/
Wait, let me try it from my computer.
ये क्या क्या है? 422. It will work. I will pin the new link. Replace pinned link. Yes. Description one is not working. Oh yeah. Sorry, description वाला मैं change नहीं किया. My bad. वो मैं reuse किया ना stream link. तो that does not work anymore.
मैं खुद सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया हूँ.
youtube.com/c/44.
क्या तू सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया मतलब? Of course किया.
www.
To the new channel.
And yes, so the FPL league we'll be doing the members FPL league on the new channel. Don't worry. And FPL league का link, as we all know, एक stream में एक बार आएगा, तो तुम लोग को देखना पड़ेगा. So that is our policy every year. एक stream में एक बार और कोई लीक नहीं करेगा. सब chat में हम लोग blacklist करते हैं, Discord में blacklist करते हैं, कहीं पे भी share नहीं कर सकते.
But tell me something. Are we that league will continue on its own, na?
Yeah, it will continue its own. I just have to renew it, which I will. So, but there's one separate members league which we're doing, which has a prize. So there's that. What else is there? So David Alaba, I love this bittersweet David Alaba news. David Alaba to wear number 4 at Real Madrid. David Alaba tested positive for COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not, but I think he should be fit in time for the season. And Real Madrid apparently are open to selling all their players. All.
Yeah.
Not one is an untouchable player. All. But actually,
look at the squad.
Is there anyone who you would consider कि like उसको नहीं बेच सकता है?
Courtois
Yes,
they
Varane.
shouldn't sell.
Varane.
Courtois.
Courtois they shouldn't sell. Like you have a genuine world class dude there, and it's a difficult role to fill. And the rest are also world class, but very aging. Like for example, you can sell Benzema if you got any money for Benzema. Amazing. Modric 35, Cruz किधर से आएगा पैसा इन लोग के लिए?
Modric, I think, will
नाचो कौन
retire
खरीदेगा?
at this
But
stage.
will you have the mid Chelsea problem, which is with no leadership in the center, with no senior player in this? You can't
अरे
give
अब
Courtois the armband, no, unless you have to give Hazard the armband.
देख we are going to reach a point जिधर Vinicius आएगा कैप्टन बन के.
Like Donny van de Beek wearing armband.
Yeah, I have a feeling we are in for a rough ride for the next couple of years. It's a rough ride because पैसा नहीं है. Perez तो अभी bitching start कर दिया है
Yeah.
already.
अभी नए
when you say-
voice notes leak हो रहे as we
Yeah.
speak.
When
This
you say
Ancelotti,
rough
no?
ride, when you say rough ride, you mean Arsenal type rough ride or Liverpool type rough
नहीं,
ride?
so just the way the La Liga is structured, we are never going to finish lower than third.
हाँ.
ठीक है, between the Atletico, Barca and Real वो musical chair चलता रहेगा, so that's fine.
And एक occasional Atletico.
I mean, yeah, between the three of them, and then one says Sevilla or whoever, like whoever you want to throw in. But yeah, and they'll always have money once the stadium opens. Once people come back, paisa ho jayega, which is good. But we have to wait till then.
I love though somebody in chat with Karsha said Real Madrid ready to sell Bernabeu if right offer comes.
True.
Oh man. But yeah, big.
Barca का तो हालत खराब है.
Like if you look at the graphs that are there, like Barcelona was spending like their wage cap was like some 450 million ke aspas, and now they're gonna have to manage at like half of that.
Half of that.
2021, less than half, maybe a third of that. So
There was one article on Athletic where they've said ki how Barca is now in the range of Tottenham in terms of wage.
yeah.
Tottenham and AC Milan. So that's
Yeah, in
that's
fact,
quite
maybe slightly lower also. Yeah, probably closer to AC Milan right now. So yeah, and don't worry, guys, the stream will be available for long enough for you all to watch it. एक दो दिन के लिए रखेंगे, and then it becomes members. Actually, members बना के फायदा ही क्या है? सब लोग देखो ना बिंदास, enjoy your life. We'll do other things for members. Okay, so Bundesliga United have offered Leon Goretzka a bigger contract. I doubt Goretzka is happening. Doesn't seem at all likely. Dortmund have signed Daniel Malin from PSV as a replacement for Jadon Sancho, which is based on his World Cup performance, काफी haggard. So good luck to Borussia Dortmund. And Dortmund are interested in Meri Demiral of Juventus, defender.
Yeah.
I think many clubs want him, and 35 million. Dude, after last season? Aren't defenders now going for dirt cheap? Like I remember last year we were talking about कि यार कोई central defender available है ही नहीं dude. सब लोग 80 million, 100 million. अभी ये कुनाटे गया है 30 million, वारान गया है 30 million, कुंडे जाएगा 25 million plus Zuma obviously. This is 35 million. What happened to the world?
दो तीन
we're
चीज
talking
हुआ ना.
about like no, I think Upamecano के बाद थोड़ा scene हुआ ना. Because after Upamecano, then there was plus I think this whole like COVID. 1 year of COVID, 1.5 year of COVID has
Reality
really
check.
put things into perspective, right? Like, और England, Brexit, ये वो work permit बहुत मगजमारी है ना.
No, and also, yeah, COVID has put it in perspective. Also, like, it also just so happens that a lot of contracts, like one more year has passed, right? So people are closer and closer to that sell by date.
Right. Actually, that is probably one of the biggest factors.
Yeah.
तुम लोग Luis Figo का पढ़ा क्या? Explanation.
क्या था उसका explanation?
Against Perez. So he was talking about Perez's league quotes, and he says, I think in a private conversation, quotes can get out of context. I had the possibility of speaking with him, and he apologized to me. So it's a closed case for me.
नहीं, 5 years later,
know why?
na, the audio of the phone call that Perez made to him will be leaked. कि भड़वे तू बोल कि मैं अच्छा आदमी है. सुना क्या?
Also, I am pretty certain that Figo himself has said shit about Barca when he left.
About everybody.
तो
About everybody.
टेंशन नहीं है, वो भी है, इसमें ही है, पेरेज ही है वो, दूसरा, अलग. And Perez is right, na? He's like that snake. He ruined the dressing room.
Okay. We'll just quickly go through a couple of chats. Kunal Rai says, do you think Ole will be gone if no trophies this season? I mean, I think that was meant for Mark. But having watched most of his streams this week, I can confirm that his opinion is yes.
Also, have you noticed this thing that here's what happens, right? It's like what happened to Lampard. Once you have bought in players,
Yeah.
right? Then that excuse goes away.
Yeah, it's done.
And
Like
then
you
the
can't be
sack-
like you haven't been backed in the transfer market and all.
Yeah.
Now you've got
No,
like
and you're right. It might be the Lampard problem also from the fact that Lampard got us to fourth, right, in
Yeah.
the season before, where everybody
that.
said तू सिक्स्थ भी आएगा तो भी चलेगा,
चलेगा।
नो प्रॉब्लम, बिल्ड कर, तेरे पास प्लेयर नहीं है, पैसा नहीं है, ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, तू बिल्ड कर। वो फोर्थ लेके आया कैसा भी करके, then you have to top that, right? Now you've come second, fucking win, dude. I've given you the players to win. It's as simple as that now.
yeah. Okay, a viral Shukla was asking how much is Varane and Sancho's signing bridge the gap between City and United.
Great
Like it has bridged the gap for sure, but listen, we are 2 injuries away of Varane and Sancho to be in the same team. So
I love Azeem's optimism of this for the season.
yeah, but it's true. We're 2 injuries away and we're back to the same. So obviously, yes, we are closer to City in that sense. But अभी City का transfer window चालू हुआ है. अभी एतिहाद से check आया है उन लोग को. तो अभी कौन सा Kane, Grealish क्या खरीदने वाले हैं, we have no idea. But I get the feeling ना if they sign Kane वो एकदम महा flop होने वाला है City पे.
Top
I
on
get
order,
the
na?
feeling.
Yeah. But
Grealish
on the
will
other
kill.
hand,
Grealish will kill.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
But Kane गया ना तो जो flop होने वाला है वो. Oh.
But why do you feel that? That's an interesting thing because I feel the same thing. But I can't
Because वो
articulate
tiki
it.
taka player नहीं है, dude. He's played under Mourinho. You know, like he's been
fundamentally
scarred
Pep-
by 2 years of
Oh,
Mourinho.
fuck. 1 second. Chat, can you think of a single player who has gone from Mourinho to Pep or
And
vice
survived.
versa and done well? Yeah. That'll be interesting.
Xabi Alonso
Mourinho
at
to
Real
Pep.
Madrid?
No,
No, that was
And then he went to Bayern. I think
Lampard,
no Lampard. Where has he played under Pep?
City.
Zlatan.
But
No,
then
that was the
Zlatan
opposite.
went from-
Na, he sucked
and he
under
loved
Pep
it.
and then he went to this.
Yeah, but here I'm saying Lampard on his way out. went
Eto'o,
to City.
Eto'o.
Actually, most of these are players who have had a hard time
Pep
under Pep and then gone to Mourinho. Interesting. And Atharva also made a point saying that Pep's man management skills actually are not the best. Eto'o only aake bola hai. He's been saying a lot of shit in. There was a Twitter thread about it where Eto'o was like, इसको कुछ नहीं आता है, man management, बस टिकी टाका खेलते रहता है, बस मेसी गिरी करते रहता है.
the philosopher.
Also, guys, one sec. Mourinho to Pep, classic example is De Bruyne.
But did he really play
But
under
he hardly,
Mourinho?
yeah.
No, but I'm saying like that logic, even Lampard when he went to Pep didn't. I mean, he did for the season.
Fabregas. Barcelona to Chelsea.
But again, thrived under.
But different, na?
But
Thrived
yeah,
under
did well
Mourinho.
at both actually. Won titles with both, na?
Thrived more under this guy.
Correct. And yeah, so people asking, no, you don't have to cancel the membership. मैं cancel करूँगा, तुम लोग को refund मिलेगा, तुम लोग tension मत लो. Okay, thoughts on Eric Ramsey as a coaching addition? Honestly, I haven't paid enough attention. I know who he's been signed, but I don't know what his job is at United, so I'm not in a position to answer. But next time, मैं पढ़ाई करके आएगा. Lingard ka questions from Akshay and Nehal have been answered. Bunty M says United kids versus Arsenal kids, who are better, and what do you think about Arsenal's chances under Arteta? I think we heard about Mark's opinion about Arsenal. So there's that. And United kids, actually Arsenal ke kids hai kaun? I think Arsenal ka kid, the hallmark of a good Arsenal kid is that you need to have 2 last names. कि एक Maitland Niles, एक Gibbs White, एक कौन सा
Chamberlain.
नहीं वो तो लिवरपूल
Oxlade
में
Chamberlain, yeah.
अरे कौन है वो
but
नया
वो
वाला
Arsenal में था ना Chamberlain तो.
अरे हु इज द न्यू गाय विद 2 नेम्स यार जो अभी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन किया हाँ स्मिथ रो एमिल स्मिथ रो एंड साका So yeah, I mean they've got like it's interesting.
Ben White, what do you think? Ben White is
I think very overpriced for what they're getting.
Yeah, very
man.
overpriced, no?
Very overpriced.
50
50 million for a guy who's had 1 season at Brighton. I mean,
Especially when you're getting all these Kunde.
I mean, I'm
Kunde
not
for
one to
like-
talk considering United have spent 80 million on 2 seasons wala Maguire, but like Maguire was still way more established in the Premier League and played at the World Cup semi-final, all of that, and then came to United. But yeah, Ben White 50 million. I think I hope for his sake he does well, but I hope he doesn't get filed under the unending list of failed Arsenal centre backs. Just kitne hai, dude, kitne.
Yeah,
Who was the last, like, Mertesacker, Koscielny maybe were like the last two consistent ones. Vermaelen, who like lasted long. Those were
Vermaelen
the
also had
three.
such a torrid time.
Like Mustafi was pretty shit after a while. All your Gabriel,
David Luiz, everybody.
Saliba, David Luiz. Fuck, what all names are popping up? Senderos,
Yeah.
Campbell. Wow. Socrates भी था, the philosopher. Fuck, कौन था ये Arsenal में? Lichtsteiner, Callum Chambers. Wow, they have signed really bad centre backs, dude.
Magalhaes.
Oh my god. Like the last bulletproof one I can think of is Kolo Toure. Like even
Kolo Toure?
Pascal
Wow,
Sigon in retrospect was like कि ये मस्त था. Like,
Holding
wow.
public बोल रहा है. Holding मस्त है. Holding.
Holding तो बेचारे को कैप्टन वैप्टन बनाने का सोच रहा था at some point.
Lord Holding.
Lord Holding.
Squillaci. Oh my god.
Oh, Squillaci, fuck. What a name that was.
तुम लोग को कैसा ये सब नाम याद आ रहा है भाई?
अरे चैट बोल रहा है.
हाँ.
Squillaci.
Oh, okay.
हाँ, we are reading
ये
chat.
दिमाग से आता नहीं यार कभी भी. Squillaci I have buried long ago.
No chance.
Okay, thank you to NK and Shrey. Sorry we couldn't ask your questions to Mark. Also Shreyas. Sidhu says, will Chelsea sign a striker or play Kai as number 9? And can they win the league with this team after UCL? Baba, क्या लगता है?
बाबा.
पता नहीं.
Haaland आएगा 175 million. He's also come out in the press and been like, क्यों भर रहा है 175
Yeah,
million?
मैं इतना भी अच्छा नहीं है. But no, I think league is too tough because of what City has. और अभी ग्रीलिश उधर गया तो क्या मतलब फिर तो लौड़े है ना उधर अगर वो गया तो. So I don't know. I think league is tough. League is tough because it's a consistent situation. City अगर थोड़ा बहुत एक दो ऐसा predictable games lacks लेके हक दिया जैसे like they did, like City at the start of last season wasn't like looking like the City you know, right? ऐसा कुछ अगर scenes हुआ तो पता नहीं, but also audience is back in the stadiums, no? So let's see what that.
But yeah, I don't know how. Like I think.
But I don't think Kai at number 9. The conversation is about. There was one conversation saying Haaland अगर आ रहा है तो Ziyech को बेचना पड़ेगा. जो मैं काफी shocked है कि तू Ziyech को बेचेगा और Kai को मतलब Champions League गोल दिलाया उसने. But I just think that Kai बहुत ऐसा touch footballer है. मतलब ऐसा gazelle.
Like he's gazelle. Ozil. He's an Ozil.
There is only one gazelle and I am taking offense to.
Kamavinga.
Yeah, no other gazelles are allowed.
Okay. Robert Lewandowski का खुद का documentary आ रहा है, guys. Amazon Prime.
Full produce किया उसने?
Yes, नहीं. Amazon Prime का is getting it. It's Lewandowski all or nothing. That's what's happening.
Wow.
Yes, all or dancing. That's what it's going to be called.
Can't wait for Arsenal all or nothing, dude. It's going to be unreal.
Ramos का भी आया था ना before this. I think yeah, they're going.
Dude, I can't wait for this season's Drive to Survive. क्या पागलपन होने वाला है. And
I can't wait to see Ronaldo beating all these Juventus.
Oh man, Ronaldo ऐसा चप्पल लेके मार रहा है. हाँ, डिबाला मेरा प्लेस लेगा टीम में. चल, get out. But apparently Allegri is very happy and he's like, I want to play Dybala and Cristiano together. And Cristiano बोला तू रुक अभी, तू आ साले.
नहीं and Morata बोला अरे shit यार क्यों sign किया वापस.
But yeah, actually Ronaldo up top, Chiesa and Dybala is a fucking nice front three, dude.
It's a good yeah.
Very nice front.
They need to fix that middle again. It's that same Weston McKennie को खिलाया, Ramsey को खिलाया, Rabiot को खिलाया.
अभी इसका बात क्या चल रहा है ना, Locatelli का.
They need a proper like a really good central midfielder and midfields.
That makes sense. What else was there? It is
And
so sweet.
अपना बड़े मियाँ छोटे मियाँ is there at the back, so that's chill.
Yeah, बड़े मियाँ छोटे मियाँ. Dude, उसका एक वो deep fake बनाना चाहिए, dude. Of Bonucci Chiellini doing the बड़े मियाँ dance. कोई बना सकता है वो बंदा है ना जो डीप फेक करता है, तो ये बना ना प्लीज, मैं तेरे को 500 रुपया देगा, प्लीज बना ना, मैं एक्चुअली जीपे करेगा तेरे को. I just want that. हम लोग we'll put it on to Instagram. Kelly Ray and Bonucci dancing on that. Rutul Parekh says contribution for chair or G29. So sweet. Thank you. G29 तो मिल गया, but chair will come one day after I can stop putting shoes to keep my chair in place. Sudarshan says 2012 Euro runners up, 2014 World Cup winner, 2016 Euro runners up, 2018 World Cup winners. If you know, you know. We know. Do we know?
Say again,
2012 Euro runners up, 2014 World Cup winner, वो तो स्पेन है. 2026 Euro
नहीं,
runner
2014.
हाँ, World Cup
2014 Germany.
हाँ, Germany. 2016 Euro runner up. Okay. 2018 World Cup winners, which is France. ये क्या riddle है?
What is the question? Just these dates, and then it says if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. I don't know.
We don't
So
know.
what are the countries? Tell Germany. No.
Oh, it's the World Cup curse. What is the World Cup curse?
अच्छा, if you are runners up at Euro, you win the World Cup. ऐसा है क्या?
Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh, अच्छा, he's saying
तो अच्छा,
England,
he's saying
England is-
England incoming. Okay.
Okay, lovely, good one.
All right. Okay, Rutul also saying Militao, Alaba, Nacho reminds me of Pavon and Woodgate.
Oh
Yeah, but
my God!
That's going to be your back three if you ever play back three.
Pavon and
Who is the
Woodgate,
fourth choice defender, by the way? If either of these gets injured, who comes in? Odriozola.
हाँ, Odriozola they still have. Then they'll bring all these youth guys, no? The guy who played last, Miguel Torres, all these guys are there.
Mendy.
Mendy is there.
Yes. अरे रुको, मैं आ रहा है सुपर चैट पे, डोंट वरी, डोंट.
Reguilon वापस आएगा कि नहीं आएगा?
नहीं, no
रेगियन
chance.
क्यों आएगा? उसका पैसा लगेगा ना 30
पैसा
मिलियन.
लगेगा. पैसा अभी पैसा देने का टाइम नहीं है, अभी सिर्फ पैसा लेने का टाइम. मार्सेलो तू आउट, अभी निकल रहा है, कहीं बाहर जा रहा है, हाँ, वेकेशन, वापस
मत आना.
You can't say Marcelo without Sell, am I right?
अरे Vallejo, I forgot Vallejo. Yes.
Vallejo, yes, Jesus Vallejo. Bro Bama says Barca has some good young players who make them feel hopeful, but Real Madrid में वो भी नहीं है. Who has cursed my La Liga? Yeah, actually,
That's
Real
true,
Madrid.
actually.
तुम लोग के पास है ना Vinicius Rodrigo? Come on.
Vinicius, the problem is you've just seen so much of Vinicius.
Odegaard भी है, Odegaard.
You don't register these people as young players because
Yeah.
Odegaard was there when Ronaldo was there. तब से उसको
Here is
16-year-old
here is my real question. You really don't think Eden Hazard does magic for you this season? अगर वो 10 गोल मारा ये सीजन, तो तू टी शर्ट उतार के एक वॉच अलोंग करेगा?
टी-शर्ट उतार के नहीं करूँगा.
अच्छा,
20 मारेगा
20
तो.
goals, हाँ, 20
20
goals.
मारेगा तो.
Shirtless watch along. It has been confirmed right here.
Yeah.
20 goals, shirtless
goals.
watch along. Kautuk.
Shirtless watch along.
Doesn't
Full watch
mean you
along.
can wear a ganji. It has to be
full.
Topless.
Yeah.
And camera on. मतलब तू ऐसा बैठ के कैमरा ऑफ करके नहीं बैठ सकते.
Done. I am willing to put skin in the game, literally. I mean,
20 goals.
yeah,
20 goals.
If it's impossible.
Well, he's
Chelsea के लिए नहीं मारा है, dude.
क्या? तू चूतिया है क्या?
17 मारता है ना वो.
नहीं रे.
देख.
We are talking all competitions. Don't use league technicality. and all.
All competitions, and I'm not saying I was going to add goal involvements, but
नहीं,
it's
नहीं.
okay. हाँ. अभी कैसे फटी तेरी पे?
नहीं. I mean, I'm still on. 20 goals, no chance. Not gonna do it.
Across all competitions, 20 goals. Hazard, you will take out t-shirt.
Dude, वो 20 injuries मारेगा देख.
Oh.
Record
Achha,
and
there's
all
question for you, Kautia, from Gunveer Singh, who says, what possible targets do you think Real Madrid can realistically hope for, and also with the defense, will the defense be half decent this season?
Considering what happened at the end of last season with Militao being like coming into his sort of like into being the player we wanted him to be. So Alaba not bad once his COVID thing goes away in like 14 days. Alaba not bad. The thing is going to be the partnership chemistry that you'll have to form between them. There is no preseason. There's nothing.
And वैसे भी उसका तो कोविड हो गया अलाबा को.
हाँ, तो लफड़े हैं. तो Nacho is going to be playing there, and I think you'll have Militao, which is fine. I think they were good last season. Not great. And dude, the very point of the thing is 7 साल के लिए अपन के पास 2 लोग थे डिफेंस में. 7 साल. And they won everything between them, and now they're gone. So it's going to be very difficult to replace. Realistically, targets, I don't know if they have any money, and I think the way that they're going about business, they want to cash in on everybody, hold on, and buy Mbappe next year.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be a team for Mbappe to play in.
Yeah. So it's going to be Mbappe and Eder Militao. That's what's going to happen over there. That's all.
Yeah, rough 2-3.
Aviral
If you're
Shukla
a
is...
Madrid fan.
बट एम्बापे नहीं आएगा ये कंडीशन में रियल मैड्रिड के पास. वो पसजे में एक चैंपियंस लीग जीत के फिर आएगा.
पसजे कभी चैंपियंस लीग नहीं जीतेगा. लिख के ले लो. लिख के ले लो. संतोष को नहीं मिलेगा.
If they do, then the next stream Azeem shirtless. How about that?
Yeah. Okay, fine. If PSG wins this thing, I will do shirtless watch along. Done. अभी बावा का देखने का है, क्या करने का है?
No, I am not agreeing to a shirtless watch along.
नहीं, तेरा भी टाइम आएगा. Don't worry.
नहीं. If two people are shirtless.
He said, if Hazard will play 20 games, I will watch the stream naked. बहुत funny. Preston pre-season cancelled. COVID in United camp. अरे यार क्यों हुआ? Fuck. Well, चलो at least fuck यार. Fucking this Andreas Pereira बिकेगा नहीं यार.
चेल्सी के साथ खेल रहा है ब्रो कल. आर्सेनल के साथ खेल रहा है हम लोग.
आर्सेनल के साथ खेल रहे हैं. आर्सेनल का तुम लोग सुना ना यूएस का दिस थिंग. दे वर प्लानिंग टू गो ऑन यूएस का टूर एंड देन दे रियलाइज दैट मे बी traveling with a party of 100 people to Orlando and coming back might not be best idea in COVID world. And सब बेचारा US का Arsenal fans ऐसे टिकट विकेट खरीद के accommodation book करके बैठा है and then they're like चल bye अब हम लोग नहीं आ रहे तो bye.
Why is Arsenal like this? What has happened to them? Why are they so fucking cartoonishly bad?
It's the Arteta factor. That's what it is.
Though that man is, I feel like his reputation and Ole's reputation need to swap. Like, how does he have such a good reputation and he's 10th? And this
but this is proper propaganda, na?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they need to fucking figure this out because
Arsenal fans screenshot ले लो. अभी तुम लोग.
No, see, Arteta it's basically his Rahul Gandhi syndrome, na? Where everyone inside the party is like, अरे बाबा को देखो यार, बाबा क्या मस्त करता है, देखो रैली कर रहा है पूरा opposition को बाबा. It's just that.
But it's also got to. It's absolutely that the amount. I mean, he's saved them so much money and made them so much profit by with the whole like Ozil thing and all of that. So chance ही नहीं है.
हाँ, he's just a yes man. That's what it is. Okay. White has English tax, says Kunal. Has played under Bielsa too. Also a young centre back, 23 years old. Okay, makes sense. Sai Krishna says, Azeem, as a player yourself, do you think Virgil van Dijk will be back to his best this season? मतलब मैं ये level पे तो नहीं खेला है. But I will say that.
Azeem Shokan. Yeah, I feel.
Yeah, in my extensive experience. बट डूड मेरा एक एंकल डिसलोकेशन हुआ है 2 साल पहले. अभी तक मेरा वो एंकल ट्विस्ट होते रहता है. बट ऑल्सो आई हैव डन नोवेयर नियर इनफ फिजियोथेरेपी. इफ आई जस्ट डू 3 months of physio properly, all these problems would be solved. And I think Van Dijk किया है. I don't think Van Dijk बैठ के ऐसे ऐसे चिप्स खा के वॉच अलॉन्ग स्ट्रीम कर रहा था 2 साल के लिए. So I think he will have recovered fairly well, but maybe recovery pace and all and getting that confidence in the knee back will take time. But I hope for his sake that he makes it back to the way he was. And Baffle says top 4 predictions with City with a world-class striker, Chelsea with Haaland, and Man United with a good DM. If all this happens, top 4 predictions. I would say City to win it. I am going to put my neck out and say United second, but closer, like in a title race. Maybe missing out by 3 to 5 points. Chelsea
September
third.
में खत्म होने वाला है dude.
Liverpool fourth.
Title wrapped up in September.
Okay, this is a good challenge that has come from Sagar. If Arsenal wins the title, top list stream by all 3.
Yeah.
Done. I accept.
Done. I accept.
No chance, bro.
Arey, come on, Baba.
Do it. Baba, it's the safest bet you can make. It's Arsenal.
Yeah.
अरे
Coming
bro,
first.
पता नहीं है क्या चलता है उधर
नहीं।
सडनली ऐसा वो
चल ना, go all
इनविंसिबल्स हो
in.
गया और बेंचोद ऑल
Invincible
अरे
कैसे होगा?
Arteta's invincibles, please. What are you saying, Baba?
I know it sounds funny but
Wait, Baba, you're saying that Lokongo was the problem. Like now that he's come.
Yeah, it's just like the new Patrick Vieira. That's what they've got. कि उसका और स्कॉट मैकडोमिने का अभी बैटल होने वाला है इन द टनल because he was picking on Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Is that what's going to happen?
Baba, make it, dude. It's done. Okay, speaking on behalf of Baba, yes. We accept.
We
I'll
accept
borrow
that.
Atul Khatri's that topless t-shirt that he's got.
Friends, I cannot watch this Arsenal anymore. Enigma says, do you feel Varane will end up like Di Maria at United? See, until such time that his house is not robbed, I think we can safely say.
Mid-match.
There is a good chance, like, so they have, like, you guys have this reputation of signing a big player and then it can go either way, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a full 50-50, like with you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
But so, yeah, I mean,
again,
this is the
we've got
first
Hazard
big
and-
name, like world-class caliber player that
In a
we've
while,
got
na?
in a while. Like we've all got players like, okay, Bruno Fernandes, good player, but nobody expected him to give the kind of return that he gave at United when he came.
You
We
got a
thought
World
we
Cup
get-
winner.
Yeah, we've got a World Cup and 4-time Champions League winner, dude. 4 or 5? Fucking, I've lost track of
Four,
how many.
four,
there
four.
are. 4. World Cup winner, Euro finalist. I mean, he's been there, done all of that. Cavani, you can say, was one established player who came and had a decent season. Maguire,
But
wasn't-
Cavani, like,
yeah.
very much at the end of his. Again,
Yeah,
it was one
he
of
has
those.
one season left. Like वो उसको बेचारा सैंचो को नंबर 7 भी नहीं दिया because they're like कवानी भड़क जाएगा यार इतना प्लीज बोल के उसको रखा है एक सीजन के लिए.
What number is Sancho?
अरे Sancho is the future Valencia, number 25. 2 plus 5 equals 7. That's what's happening.
Oh,
I think he had a choice between 16 or 25.
hilarious.
Yeah, so within 3 seasons, देखो Sancho at right back. You heard it here first.
Sancho at right back.
Yeah. अरे FIFA में तो already it's on. FIFA में Sancho is fixed as my right back for next season. Don't worry.
Yes, so fucking.
Although I feel bad for betraying Dan James because Dan James by far best right back in FIFA. No questions asked.
Very pace abuse, no?
At
Very
full
92
pace.
pace.
92 pace, but defending 0. So you will really
Nice.
it's like driving a Minardi F1 car. Like it goes full speed but does not turn. It's like that. Pranjal says, where do you get that Iron Man poster? See, my wife na, she runs a thrift shop. तो ये सब लोग का rejected माल or whatever people who have like sold shit for small like low prices, she gets all this stuff here, which you can also get because I'm investor in this business, so I must promote. Guys, please check out Bombay Closet Cleanse on Instagram, where you can get cheap deals on pre-owned items of clothing, vinyls, typewriter Neville can vouch for, very nice, and books also, and physical store in Bandra next to Sanchuro if you're in Mumbai. All right. Sponsored
Next
by
to
Sanchuro, yes, Sanchuro.
I just want to point out that Pushpa Kohli knows what this stream is about because he's asked a question saying thoughts on Crystal Palace window.
Who did they
Zaha,
get?
Zaha, hold on, just that's the window.
एक मिनट पैट्रिक वियरा गया ना उधर उतना ही मालूम है और क्या.
Oh, dude, Patrick Vieira. एक बस रॉय कीन आ जाए ना अभी प्रीमियर लीग में एज अ मैनेजर तो. Dude, I want United not to buy Roy Keane as a Pogba consultant. That's
Pogba
what I want.
consultant.
हाँ.
Hilarious.
कि कुछ भी Pogba related चीज करना हो तो भाई साहब रॉय कीन आ जाता है. That's what the world need. That's what Pogba needs. I'm telling you. Last couple of super chats and then we'll move on with our news. There's not that much left. Jay says Kautuk to eat Nutella covered samosa sandwich on 20 goals.
That will do if he scores one.
Done.
He doesn't
Nutella
even need
samosa
the
sandwich.
one goal. Hazard needs to just play. And
Yeah.
Kautukuli.
Ashket Tiwari says most unnecessary football documentary is Nicholas Anelka's Misunderstood. Have you all seen this? I've actually watched some amount of it. Where
Was it good?
he's just like I'm misunderstood, and he says that for about 60 minutes. It's a riveting watch, yeah. Okay, Uber Eats Liga. Kylian Mbappe has reportedly informed Pochettino that he will not be signing a new contract and is prepared to run down his contract. ये French बच्चा लोग same ही है dude. ये सब लोग Pogba से ही सीखा है ये हरामीगिरी कि अरे नहीं I will join free transfer. देख मेरे को 500,000 a week मिलेगा अभी. किसका सुपर चैट मिस हो गया? प्रतीक सिंह किधर गया? ओके, प्रतीक सिंह सेज ये लो पैसे तुम लोग के लिए अपन क्लब हाउस के प्राइवेट रूम पर डेट लीव करके आया है. अरे क्या बात है, क्या बात है, क्या बात है. टू गुड, कांग्रेट्स टू यू एंड मे यू हैव मेनी ऑर्गेजम्स. यस, आई डोंट नो व्हाई व्हाट दैट मींस, but yes, but thank you genuinely.
Why is Mbappe doing this, by the way?
Also, I want to know why are people going on dates on Clubhouse? This has become a thing ना कि ऐसा public में जाके date करने का. Like, do you know that on Clubhouse, all these rooms that have that ejaculation icon on them are basically just like open phone sex forums where you can just listen to people on phone
shoot
sex
your
dates.
shout.
No, वो एक है and then अलग है. Hey, hot people join ना, like ऐसा करके rooms है उधर. तो yeah, if you are single people, join Clubhouse guys. अभी सब लोग, for every lowly Android account, Clubhouse is allowed. All right, where else is there? Yeah, there was a sign outside Park Days Princess. Did you see? Where they said ki listen to your mother, Pogba, don't come to PSG.
Wow.
Because they are like Pogba's mother is a Marseille fan. So उसका बच्चा अलाउड नहीं है. दिस इज अगेन ना ये सब ये फ्रेंच लोग माँ बाप पे व्हाट इज दिस रैबियो की मम्मी, एम्बापे का बाप, पोग्बा की मम्मी, क्या चल क्या रहा है इधर? What is this?
You remember in school you used to have a parent-teacher meeting. That's what the French.
Yeah, that's what like वो Deschamps has to call everyone.
Yeah,
कि तुम लोग बच्चा लोग क्या कर रहा है यार, संभालो ना. What is this?
This Mbappe has potential, but if he keeps hanging out with this Pogba,
See, he does not track back properly in the pitch. कुछ करो ना. He does not pay attention in classes. That's the same thing. Dude, Mourinho को I'm sure at some point Mourinho उसका बोला रहेगा तू मम्मी को बोला.
Yeah.
Somebody had made scoop whoop का किसी ने बनाया भी था. You'd seen that मराठी Pogba.
No.
मराठी Pogba Mourinho conversation. तुम लोग नहीं देखा है ये? Oh fuck dude, मैं कितना कम से कम 100 बार देखा है वो वीडियो. Where it was Mourinho shouting at Pogba after that Instagram thing had happened when he was at United. And the entire conversation was dubbed in Marathi. It was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
The one in the training ground.
Yeah.
I think I've
जाके देखो, स्कूप वूप का है, फेसबुक पे मिलेगा तुम लोग को. Just search for Pogba Marathi. That would be the first time someone has.
I mean, if there are more videos, that would be insane.
Yeah. Okay, Derby County का तो बात हो गया है. Oh, VAR changes. That's what I wanted to talk about. So now guys, VAR has been completely revamped for next season, where now the VAR lines will be thicker and we will not be shown their calculations also on screen.
We will not be shown their calculation.
हाँ, because उन लोग को करने का है ना scam. Yeah, वही है कि जाके देखो कि किधर गिर रहा है line and then make your decisions. But I mean, I would be happy. And also accidental handballs in build up to a goal no longer an offense, which is going to cause lots of controversy, I feel.
Yeah, but they need to show us what their thing is, yaar. Someone needs to show us something. It can't just be like
do whatever the fuck they want.
It can't be this is like वो EVM वाला situation कि नहीं किसी को नहीं पता है क्या हो रहा है. But what do you do? Yeah, Spurs have but I mean this is what we do. Footballers in England are to be limited to 10 higher force headers in a week in training under new guidelines. It comes under recent studies of the long-term effects of heading. So only 10, but Maguire ka every header is that only. So I mean,
how do you define a high force header?
Just keep. I mean, I don't know. How do you define it? Like, are they now going to put like वो G-force trackers inside the ball and be like कि नहीं ये 20 G's पे head किया है इसने, fuck off, get out.
मेरा feeling है ना कि this is a real problem. This is definitely a real problem because like I don't know if you've seen that documentary, the trial of Aaron Hernandez. Right? This dude was a NFL player who also murdered 3 people while he was playing alongside Tom Brady. Like that's what this dude was. So, or like supposed to play around him or something like that. Anyway, point was later when they checked out his brain. There's a genuine condition called ACT or something like that, where your brain gets fucked because of repeated collision. So this is real, and I feel like what we're going to head towards is either the header being disallowed, or all footballers wearing some kind of protective gear. I have a feeling it's going to head there in the next 10
मतलब
years.
सब लोग पेटर check.
सब लोग better check. It'll be just like a thing that, you know, how you
Like
see
how
the NFL
American
guys,
football, headers.
No, like how
But then that can create even more damage, na? If you're wearing a helmet or फिर दूसरा का helmet head
it
किया तो
won't be
चलता
a
है.
helmet. It'll be like one of those like just
padding.
Cushion things. But सब लोग क्या funny लगेगा फिर ऐसा पूरा बेकम का करियर नहीं चलता dude, उसका हेयर जेल
Exactly.
का रोनाल्डो और बेकम का हेयर जेल कैसा करेगा?
Yeah.
they'll find out new styles, na.
हाँ,
Then
there'll be a
Nike will
new-
invent a
Yeah.
then Nike will invent like a translucent.
Yeah. There is a movie about concussion called Concussion, apparently.
Yeah,
Or a
Will Smith
documentary.
is in it. Will Smith is in it.
Oh, acha. Okay. तो
And the
देखते
thing is, like, you know, once all of this starts happening, then you'll start looking at the behavior of some of these players today, and you'll be like, fuck, अब सब समझ रहा है मेरे को.
हैं.
ये Pogba ऐसे क्यों है, सब मेरे को समझ रहा है. Like, you can
Correct. हाँ,
fully
yeah. But yeah,
retrospectively
like
look at
who,
stuff.
who can you think of like really send? Is that what's happened to Phil Jones? Is that where he's been for the last 2 years? कि वो इतना इधर उधर जमीन पे header मार रहा है, गिरते गिरते header मार रहा है, that he's just he's irreparable now. And somebody in the chat said higher force headers are headbutts by Zidane. Very funny. Nice. There was a big fight that happened. Yeah, also speaking of Pepe, apparently Pepe का झगड़ा हुआ और Henrik Mkhitaryan triggered a full assault on the pitch, and Mourinho ऐसे बैठ के chill करके देख रहा था sidelines पे.
Wait, Pepe? What? You said Pepe?
Yeah, so I think it was Porto versus Roma, and कुछ तो झगड़ा हुआ, and there was a full on-pitch brawl, and Mourinho was just sitting in his chair and smiling and watching, and he's like, the good days of Italian football are back.
No, Azeem, you need that GTA ka caption underneath it.
Wasted.
Ah shit, here we go again.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, Spurs swap deal. Well, not swap deal, but they've paid money for Brian Gill in exchange for Eric Lamela.
Strange. He looks like a guy in a grunge rock band. Brian
Who?
Gill.
Eric Lamela? No, अरे dude, Brian Gill ना, मैं एक बंदे के साथ फुटबॉल खेलता हूँ, उसका नाम दिवेश है. Exact carbon copy, dude. Full Divesh.
Okay, so
है वो.
Divesh Gill.
Divesh Gill, that's what it is. I don't know why I'm saying this. कोई chat में जानता है क्या दिवेश को? Tottenham have an agreement on personal terms with Christian Romero. That's what they're saying. But apparently Romano said no agreement. That was the latest thing. They're still waiting. 55 million is what they want, and 45 is what they are offering. Son has signed a new contract. Gini Wijnaldum has come out and shat on Liverpool fans apparently.
Nice.
That was the thing.
क्या बोला?
I will find out right now. He said, once it loads on Twitter, the fans in the stadium and the fans on social media were two different types. The fans in the stadium supported me. On social media, if we lost, I was the one who got to blame. There was a moment where I didn't feel loved and appreciated. ये क्या Pogba का पूरा Instagram copy किया है क्या इसने? Not my teammates, not the people at Melbourne. It was not from that side. It was the other side. There was a story.
No,
that
I think Nehal is saying he spoke about racism also.
Oh, अच्छा racism है. Okay. Then, well, ये वाले में racism तो नहीं है, but maybe that's what he was getting at. Fair.
Also, Abhyuday Singh Pal has sent a super chat saying, "Can United buy Kane?" And then he's put two laughing emojis, and he says, "I know it's not possible, but we can dream."
Listen, man. In the words of the famous poet Bruno Fernandes, dreams can't be buy. That is all I would like to say. Oh man. And
Oh shit, dude. Vanch is like Lamptey injured. What?
Yeah, Lamptey injured.
What?
And Nikhil Reddy has given
I'm not playing
$5 for
FPL,
flavored khakra fund for Kautuk.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Make it stream with Khakra. Let's do it.
Yes.
20 goals from Hazard.
Yes.
That's all it takes. Bro, if he scores like 10 and then 15, I'll start sweating a little bit.
I do you think Bruno Fernandes was behind getting Varane because he looked at the current defensive situation that Manchester United had, and he looked at the defenders available, and he went to Oli and he said, "Dreams can't be buy."
Oh, what happens to Bai, dude? Does he get to play now?
Yeah, he'll be there. I think they're going to send Tuanzebe out on loan, so he'll be the fourth choice.
What choice? Fuck.
Fourth
Varna
choice.
bye.
Also, now we can properly. Oh, bye. Yes. We can also play a back three like properly now. With although Lindelof will still be there, but you never know.
Lindelof should be sold.
Lindelof नहीं बेचारा ठीक है. He at least he has an equation with Maguire, and Varane has had a few injury issues. मच्छर मार चो. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know
Captain.
where. Wow, well done.
Yes.
I don't know where which fan Pratham is, because he said Ole is a freaking rat man signing Varane. I don't know what. Is he a
Rat
Madrid
man?
fan? Yeah, is he a Madrid fan?
Or is he like a rad man? Like he's a rad man. I don't know what he means. Odegaard is reportedly willing to rejoin Arsenal, but only on loan, as he still hopes to become a star at Real Madrid. Nice.
He's been hoping for a long time.
Oh,
And
Aston Villa.
Arsenal are
So this
Arsenal
could
are
mean
going to make
this
a-
could mean Grealish out, because if they're looking at Leon Bailey and planning a bid, then that could be that domino effect happening over there.
and funnily enough, Arsenal are also going for Aaron Ramsdale for 25 mil.
Yeah, which is like, I mean, sure, but is goalkeeper where they need to be spending right now? They've got Burn, Leno. Actually, yeah, they do need. But will Ramsdale come to sit on the bench? He's been the player of the season in both his last two clubs. Also, like he went from Sheffield United, which was nicely challenging mid-table. I mean, from Bournemouth, who got relegated, to Sheffield United, who were challenging mid-table, and then Sheffield United also got relegated. So Arsenal relegation, is it incoming? Who knows?
Must.
Phil Jones could be available as a free agent to West Ham if United terminate his contract. Interesting. And this is Atharva propaganda saying goalkeepers with best save percentage in Premier League last season. Dean Henderson, number one, 76.5%, followed by Emi Martinez, Nick Pope. All right. ये सिटी का तो बात हो गया. सिटी का वो FFP इंटरेस्टिंग है, because I don't know if you all have seen the emails that were exchanged. It's basically that the owners have just been funding money through Etihad under the pretext of sponsorship and shirt sponsor and all of that. So,
Classic.
but as Mark said that, I mean, क्या करना? I doubt UEFA कुछ करेगा, dude.
और उसने ये भी लिखा है उसमें कि अरे शिट, मैं तेरे को इनवॉइस 88 मिलियन का भेजा, सॉरी मैं 8 मिलियन का ही इनवॉइस भेज रहा तेरे को.
88 मिलियन का गलती कौन करता है यार?
गलती नहीं, बट फ्रॉड कहते हैं ऐसे, फ्रॉड.
Oops.
Yes. Oops, एक 8 एक्स्ट्रा, शिट. Oh no.
यार मेरे क्लाइंट्स नहीं करते ये सब, dude. फ्रीलांस राइटिंग वर्ल्ड में ये सब नहीं होता है. कम पैसा देते हैं इनफैक्ट. सॉरी, वी गिव यू 8 रुपीस.
Instead of the 88 you had billed us for. Oh man. Journalists in Germany seem to be saying that Borussia Dortmund may be forced into making a sale if 175 million comes from Chelsea. बाबा ऑयल मनी है क्या इतना? 175.
खोदेगा देख अब्रामोविच.
नहीं है,
साइबेरिया
चांस ही
में.
नहीं है. चांस
नहीं होने वाला है. Leeds have signed Lewis Bate from Chelsea.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ 175 million. For that you have to sell Ziyech, you have to. I'm saying, and then you're still going to go for Rice, and you're still going to go for what? Who is that you're signing? क्या इब्राहिमोविच का बेटा इंटर के साथ बात कर रहा है लुकाकू के लिए, जो लुकाकू ने तो फक ऑफ ही बोल दिया, बट
हाँ.
वो ऐसा आकाश अंबानी गया बात करते.
But this thing Haaland, everyone's going to wait next season ना, because फिर उसका 75 million release clause.
Bidding war.
But yeah, वो तो क्या war होने वाला है, dude. क्या तो to be in that position in your career where मतलब सब लोग पैसा फेंक रहा है कि आ ना bro.
और बोल तो वो मारेगा जिधर भी जाएगा.
हम लोग का अवे किट ना, हम लोग अवे किट, we want Haaland so badly. Our away kit is fucking yellow and black like a taxi.
Nice,
So
very
we've gone
sarcastic.
after Borussia Dortmund's fucking yellow and black and said हम लोग बनाएगा ना देख टी-शर्ट भी बनाया तेरे लिए तो
Who needs him most? Who do you think needs him most? Do you think is who doesn't have a
Dude, और
striker at
मेरे को
all?
ऐसा शक
I
है
think
कि
Madrid.
हालैंड जो भी क्लब में
यूनाइटेड
जाएगा
को
ना
भेजो ना.
बहुत हगेगा
नहीं
नहीं नहीं, हालैंड खेलेगा डूड.
2 सीजन तो हगेगा मेरे को लग रहा है
नहीं, वो मोराटा थोड़ी है यार.
no he's genuinely
Probably
he's the
Liverpool
goods.
actually need him more than all of them because उन लोग का, as we've established, striker central defensive midfield में खेलता है. तो
I think just romantically as a like, and I don't mean it romantically, I mean it like a from the, it would be nice to see Mbappe at Madrid and Haaland at Barca.
बारसा
The romance of the La Liga
नहीं,
will
बट
happen
अभी
again.
पॉसिबल एटलीस्ट नेक्स्ट सीजन तक तो ये पॉसिबल ही नहीं है बिकॉज पैसा किसके पास है. वो
नहीं
लोग
नहीं next
कैसा
year, yeah, all next year.
बार्सिलोना अगला 5 साल से तक कैसा रजिस्टर करेगा डूड. वो लोग को दे हैव टू कीप गेटिंग 7 प्लेयर्स ऑफ एवरी ईयर टू
Griezmann ko they'll put on discount. Like it'll be
अरे
like a
ग्रीजमैन को
special sale.
मॉर्गेज पे डाल देंगे डूड ग्रीजमैन को.
लोन अगेंस्ट प्रॉपर्टी अरे ब्रो मेरे को आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू फिगर if Chelsea have to make a move, the only year we can make a move is this year because we have the money to do it. Because next year
बट
onwards
अगर
तो
इस
खत्म.
साल लीग जीत गया तो फिर हालैंड आएगा ना.
क्यों आएगा उसको सिटी कितना पैसा देगा और सिटी को तो स्ट्राइकर चाहिए ना कौन है उन लोगों का
बट सिटीज विल बाय स्ट्राइकर ना दिस ईयर. दे विल बाय केन और समबडी.
Kane and Grealish, they can't buy at the same time is what I feel.
But then
I
who?
don't-
Gabriel Jesus leading the line.
And Liam Delap,
Liam Delap. Rory Delap का बच्चा है ना वो.
really?
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe he's not, but I think he is. Also, by the way, Kepa has apologized to Sari, so I guess he has said sorry. For
Hey,
the
how many times? And why now?
no
What?
he's not apologized.
he's never
now
like publicly
explained.
apologized.
He's now saying मैं सॉरी मतलब मैं हम लोग वेम्बली में था 80,000 लोग था तो मैं जेन्युइनली सॉरी बोला लेकिन मैं बोला मैं ठीक है लेकिन उन लोग को सुनाई थोड़ी दिया. फिर मेरे को कैबिलियरो को भी सॉरी बोलने का था क्योंकि वो इतना सीनियर और अमेजिंग
अरे बोलने का था तो बोला क्यों नहीं? क्या हो गया? अभी आज क्या 2 साल बाद? Hey, by the way, guys.
But Chelsea have got another keeper or what?
या थर्ड
Who?
कीपर
कौन?
क्या नाम है उसका एक मिनट
Joe Hart.
अपना मार्कस बेटिलिनी
Acha, Bertolini. And Spurs have also got a goalie. His name is Golini.
बेटिनेली हाँ
Yes. Luke Shaw injury update, by the way. That apparently he played. Did you all know he played through the Euros with a broken rib?
No, I know. I could not tell
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, he suffered the injury in the last 16 game against Germany, but played through the pain barrier. So United could start the season technically without a left back because Alex Telles is also out for
See?
about 4 weeks. So
this is what even I was talking about. Like, see, we lost that Daniel Simeyu, right? Because he has basically said no, मेरे को sign नहीं करने का contract. फिर लुइस बेट भी चला गया. फिर ऐसा 2-3 प्लेयर चेल्सी यूथ एकेडमी से जा रहा है तो मेरे
हाँ,
को बस
but
यही
at least
नहीं समझ-
पैसा मिल रहा है ना तुम लोग को.
नहीं ना सिमेयू फॉर एग्जांपल फ्री
Leeds have signed na Lewis Bate.
हाँ हाँ बट माय पॉइंट इज वी आर लूजिंग अ लॉट ऑफ प्लेयर्स विदाउट एक्चुअली बीइंग एबल टू सेल देम. ये मैं बहुत कोई नहीं समझ रहा है मेरा ये 5 साल बाद सब लोग बोलेगा देख इट बी लाइक दैट एंटोनो कॉन्टे थिंग व्हेन ही लेफ्ट ही बेसिकली टुक हाफ ऑफ चेल्सीज इनहेरिटेंस विद हिम ऑन हिज फकिंग एग्जिट क्लॉज. Same I'm saying. We've that strategy that we've built where we will build an entire youth system that will either basically be like West Ham or we will make money. वो हो ही नहीं रहा है.
Well, I
Interesting.
mean, I think it's just like this one of those romantic, like it's like football manager. You know how you buy and stockpile all these young players, and you're like कि एक दिन सब मेरा तू देख full 11 homegrown रहेगा, but वो होता नहीं है कभी. It's
कभी
just,
नहीं.
नहीं होता.
कभी नहीं. With Abramovich, how will like, that man is no.
Never. But United ka, let's see what happens. I'm hoping we get that one defensive midfielder.
Mateja
and
Kejman.
Kejman, oh my god. What a name you have taken. But I'm hoping United sign a CDM. I am hopeful that would be Ruben
Nice.
Neves because
Nice.
he would fit the bill of Premier League experience and थोड़ा experience मतलब थोड़ा सा proven player and creative and takes long shots and free kicks and all of that. And right back तो चाहिए यार, ये Brandon Williams nonsense नहीं चलेगा दोस्तों. Diogo Dalot maybe if he stays I would be okay with that, but नहीं तो कोई Trippier types चाहिए दोस्तों. We need it. And Baba, can you please screen share the image that Ander Herrera has shared, which is the last page of the slide, where Marcos Rojo got into a fight. He's at Boca Juniors now. Did you see this video, Gautam, where there was a fight happening in the tunnel, and Marcos Rojo during the fight picks up a fire extinguisher and goes running after.
Look, you don't get a neck tattoo for no reason.
Yeah. See this one? Well, he's picked up a fucking fire extinguisher and run off.
इतना पर ये देख, अच्छा क्या है, कुछ नहीं है, मैं फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर उठाएगा और जाएगा.
Maximum Rojo this is. Rojo is the guy, dude. He has gone into a sliding tackle and dislocated his shoulder while missing the ball completely. Then somebody has come and popped his shoulder back in and he's continued playing.
Wow.
Oh man, just Ari, show that image, na? Last page wala image, Baba. Under Herrera shared. It's damn funny.
Sorry.
Last page of the Atharva document.
Copy.
Is Messi trending? Why is Messi trending this? Herrera. What a cutie. Okay, I think that more or less covers it. Fuck, it's 1 in the morning.
1:10.
Bro.
Oh shit. Chalo, dosto, thank you for tuning in. It has been many funs. It was great fun having Mark Goldbridge on, and hopefully हम लोग उसको ज़्यादा नहीं पकाया life में.
Just so you know, that stream started yesterday.
Yeah,
We are
wow.
still streaming.
Okay. Gaurav says Red Bull review against Mercedes denied by FIA. Fuck off यार, ये Mercedes का सब पैसा दिया है FIA को. Gaurav also says also Barca suck and Messi sucks even more. Okay, then you are forgiven for this. NK says will there be Chelsea versus Sevilla Super Cup watch along? Let's see if we are free on the day and if we have people to watch, then maybe. I can see Kautuk's interest in this match waning significantly.
Yeah, my eyes are glazing over.
Yes, these are the Glazers, the true Glazers. Shahir Ahmad says, speaking of Varane's form in the last 2 seasons, #Hagran. All right.
Hagran.
#Hagran. Haguire and Ran. Chalo, let's see.
Rafael
And
Varane.
Barca versus Juve का watch along होगा क्या? Is this some pre-season match? हम लोग को
Barca
pre-season Juve.
Juve.
Is this a pre-season match? Why we want to watch this Barca versus Juve?
Super League
Like,
भी मांग रहा है public.
no
Yeah,
Ronaldo and no Messi वाला Barca Juve match. किसको देखने का?
Johan Gamper Trophy.
Gamper Trophy. Fuck that.
9th August को. 1
इससे
AM.
अच्छा कोपा अमेरिका ही ना देख लो. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a reminder, please hit a like before you leave, and also please go subscribe to the new 442 channel. We will be shifting all operations there on the 14th of August, where we will celebrate a new season, and from the 15th we will celebrate India's Independence Day and also our independence from the accounting problems that this channel poses. Yes. Okay, thank you. Tata, bye bye. It was good fun. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed having Goldbridge on. It was nice to get somebody of this profile on here again. And yes, फट से 10 दिन में अपन को let's get that up to 10k subs and फिर तो मजा ही मजा. चलो.
Yeah.
Take care, friends. Tata, bye bye. Thank you for
See you.
watching. 4.
2.
Thank you, OP. Sleep, OP. Tata,
ये
bye bye.
अजीम टी-शर्ट भेज यार.
अरे
हाँ
यार
यार.
ये तुम लोग नमन को बोलो ना यार. अच्छा मैं भेजता हूँ. चलो ओके बाय.